We're speaking of nursing, the challenges and the opportunities it entails, and the way forward. So I'm here at Portea Medical, a home health care provider. It needs no introduction as they're often in the news for either funding, acquisition or expansion. Anyway, to give you a little brief, Portea brings world-class doctors, nurses and infrastructure to your home. So you get the one-on-one attention you need, and their aim is to make primary health care not only more accessible but also affordable and accountable. So today with us we have Mr. Bogesh, who's the head of nursing. We have Dr. Deepa, who is the assistant medical director, and we have Hema K, who's subject matter expertise for nursing at Portea. Okay, so we go to the questions now, and we'd like to talk to you about the issue at hand today. That is, among the many nursing challenges, one of them is the gender divide in nursing, which is an area of concern according to the healthcare experts and for the society in general. So do you all agree, first of all, that there is a divide in nursing? No? No gender divide in nursing? Wow, I think Bangalore is a great city because I've been speaking to, I think, Fortis hospitals, and even over there they said they do not have a gender divide in nursing. But it's pretty common in the US, UK and other parts of the world. So what is the ratio of nurses that you all have at Portea?
Okay, so we had about 600 nurses, 600 plus nurses across all 24 branches, and our having a ratio is 60 male, 60% of a male and 40% of a female currently.
Also, are men preferred in critical care and women preferred in primary care or gynecology, or what is it like?
Yeah, the preference is more based on the customer preference, number one, and also the individual preference, because the main, the classic domain areas for female nurses has been maternity or postpartum care and newborn care and such things. But whereas for male nurses, it has been trauma care, ortho care, and ambulances, emergency services. This has been more of a choice on the individual and also the patient preference. Like a female patient would want a female midwife rather than a male midwife. So these nursing students also have to choose based on what is there in store for their future. What will be a successful career for them. So that is how the discrimination has come. But as such, it's not based on any bias or issues or gender issues like that.
Which I think is pretty fair, because in any profession, people would choose what specialty they would like to go for. Right.
Yeah, actually, if you see from Florence Nightingale days, it's the nurse. She was the first model nurse,
right.
And so there is been tilt towards the females doing the nursing job, and they're well suited to it. And later we had the men joining the bandwagon. So then after that, the society norms, cultural norms still exist. So patients have their own preferences. But in the hospitals, if you see, there are many, there is no differentiation like this. Many male nurses attend to female patients, and there are female nurses attending to male patients. But they are being taught and sensitized to the whole thing, and being taught what precautions they need to take, having an additional attender with them when they are attending to an opposite sex. Right. So all that is being taken care of.
So all of you have experience in corporate hospitals. So I'd like to know one thing, this is what I heard from one of the reputed hospitals in the city, that most of the ward nurses are female and most of the critical care nurses are male, because the patients in the wards would always prefer a female nurse.
And generally in the general ward, the patients prefer more of, they want tender loving care. So that
in critical care you do not know what's happening.
Critical care,
you want to be there with the patient.
Females are being preferred in the general ward, for the nursing care, more related to care. But in the emergency ward, it's all about
agility.
Yeah.
There's a lot of even physical strength you require to handle especially in emergency and ambulance services, handling a patient, shift, lift. So there are so many activities. If there is a patient that may arise, then you have to start CPR. So female cannot perform as male performs CPR.
Right.
It doesn't mean they do not know.
Yeah.
They knew,
Physically-
but physical strength is
Actually,
required.
when
Yes.
our strength not able to
Yes,
do
we need to shift, even one person need to shift the patient itself from the ambulance to emergency because
That's right.
situation is patient is going to die. Patient is going to die if you wait a minute or 2 minutes. So the time is so important to handle the patients.
So, according to Reuters health report in the US, even though 9 out of 10 nurses are women, men in the profession are earning higher salaries, and the pay gap has remained constant over the past quarter century, which is a long, long time. So, how true is this in India, as per your experience?
In nursing, there is not much of gender issues happening, and in India at least, we don't find that, and there is equal opportunity for both male and female nurses.
Has the pay been equal, or what are the parameters on which the pay is decided in India or in your organization, to be specific?
based on education, qualification, experience, and performance, current organization.
Okay.
Actually, there was no discrimination male to female salary wise. It's all about your qualification, experience, and expertise and capabilities, and earlier what position held in the different organizations. It depends upon the salary decides upon your capability. There was no male to female, there was no discrimination in salary such in India, and as well as in Bangalore and Portea
There
Medical
will be
also.
equal pay.
There is equal pay.
Yes.
Okay, wow, that's great. This question would be suited to the medical director. So, do you think that particular specialities would, the nurses would earn more, such as critical care or gynecology?
Yeah, it depends on how much of the workload, and also what kind of critical situations they handle. For example, an operation theatre nurse will be paid more than the other nursing because she handles more critical situations, emergencies. So it totally will depend on the type of care which is being given, rather than decided by the gender.
Okay. So, do critical care nurses work for longer hours?
It's not longer hours.
It shifts?
Maybe
It's
in
a
6 to 8 hours usually. It may, if they extend, that means overtime if they work, accordingly they will get the remuneration.
Shifts will not be changed from general to critical actually, but what the work they do last 6 hours, the load, which is a more stressed on a general. Is a ICU nurse or an emergency nurse or a OT nurse is a much more stressed than a general ward nurse.
Now, this study that I was talking to you about, which was conducted in the University of California in San Francisco, it had 2 large US data sets to examine earnings over time with over 2.5 lakh registered nurses. This was done from 1988 to 2013. They couldn't find out the reasons for the persistent gaps in pay, but still they thought that men are better at negotiating raises and promotions. And also women would take extended breaks because of labor or pregnancies to care for young children, aging parents. So compared to their female counterparts, do men negotiate better salaries, work for longer hours?
Usually women will spend less time, maybe part-time, to take care of family or kids. So at that time she may prefer for part-time job. So that time woman gets less pay than the male.
Okay.
So again,
part-
it's a personal choice. Like she's chosen to work for lesser hours, and that way is what is.
Okay.
So ma'am, you were talking about part-time jobs. So could you tell me the number of hours that they work in part-time and what is a full-time? Is it 8-hour shift? How?
Preference, maybe they would like to work for 4 hours. They prefer to work for lesser hours. Accordingly, they will be paid.
Actually, in hospital sector, part-time not been allowed at all. Except a doctor might be allowed, but in us there was no in hospital, any hospital if you can go and see, corporate even non-corporates, 99% they are not being allowed as a nurse as a part-time person.
But they can choose the lesser, more easier departments. Like being an OT nurse, you be called for anytime emergency cases and nights and all that. So if a person chooses to work in the general ward, then it will be a more regular kind of shift where she could attend to her, if she has a family too.
That's right.
So that way.
We all have choices. terms of quality, do you think women perform better? Is there any kind of performance difference between men and women? No?
No discrimination. Either men or women quality can be maintained in the same standards.
But do you think women have a natural skill to be able to take care, and men have a skill to be maybe sharp or agile? Is there any?
Skills wise, there is no discrepancy. So either men and women can perform the skills equally.
And another thing is those men who have come into this profession have come by choice.
Right.
So that way there is no question about their
So they know what they're
Yeah.
looking forward to deal with.
Right. So they're prepared for it.
And what would be the criteria for assessing nurses to senior positions? Maybe director of nursing, or you want to promote a nurse. So what are the criteria you're looking
We strongly consider mainly education qualification, experience, past and previous work experience, and current performance, and also we look into the critical thinking, decision making skills, communication, administration, and leadership skills. And currently we were looking for innovative and creativity skills.
Nice.
Particularly ours being home care setup, and so there is this is a new kind of services, right? So there is more scope for creativity and innovation and comfort in using technology.
The nursing education side, do you think there's any kind of bias that starts off when people join nursing schools? For example, I think for male nurses, it is said that in the society they're teased about or said you're joining a girly profession, things like that. Is that the case? Have you come across any such cases?
Even I'm not. I'm having 13 years of experience. Even nobody was questioned actually. As in
Wow, that's great.
my family, we have 2 nurses. My elder brother also is a nurse actually, and I'm very much comfortable in this profession as of now. And the various hospitals, various organizations.
Yeah.
So I ever face such problem.
Yeah, in fact, I was pleasantly surprised when I heard that the head of nursing at Portea is a male, especially because the topic today is on gender imbalance. Yeah. So the last question that I would like to ask you all is that if there are organizations in the country where there is a gender inequality or bias in nursing, what strategies then can they come up with?
So typical examples are an organization where the co-founders, Meena, Ganesh and Ganesh, it's a wonderful example of gender equity. And I think organizations, if they focus on their core values and give preference to capabilities of the person, then I think this issue would not arise at all.
Right. So yeah, with the male head of nursing, I really feel startups definitely know how to flip things around and breaking the stereotypes. So be it. So in a closing note, I'd like to thank you all for being with us, and it was really insightful information from the experts themselves with years of industry experience, and they've spoken based on their hands-on everyday experience. And well, I'd like to say that I think it's more of the mindset of the society that we need to probably bring a shift in, and it's not just related to healthcare industry or nursing. So without sounding very feminist, I would like to say that I think has been and it will be the battle of the sexes all the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah.